Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Comic Show here on the Hood Rat Podcast. I'm Hood, and this is my boy Space. How you doing today, Space?
I'm doing good, bro. How are you?
I'm good, man. New Year.
Happy New Year! Happy New Year!
I don't want to be the gloom in your 2024, but
no,
it's gonna be.
I mean,
yeah, but we're here to bring the ray of light to all you comic guys that are hanging out in the dark spaces.
Yeah. We opened the door a little bit. Yeah.
We opened the shades a little bit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're all comic guys too, so we hang out in the dark too. So I mean, what can I say, man?
For real.
But we're here with GoCollect. We do a collaboration with them, and we look at books that went from top to not, and maybe some books you may have forgot about in your comic book freezer. But I mean, basically, this shows to help you find the deals in a world full of comic deals right now, because it continues to be a buyer's market, and that's what we like, right? That's what we like, right?
I love it.
We don't want to buy
it.
Yeah,
no,
we don't want to buy nothing at full price, bro.
No way. Like, give me that deal, man. I want to find it. I've been looking for them.
All right, man. So I know we all hang out in the dark, and we try to bring the ray of light to you guys. We're the same as you, but rather it be dark, rather you have sun, rather it be cloudy, rather it's rain. If it's rain, how do we keep it, bro?
No matter what season it is, we keep it cool, baby.
Keep it cool. All right, friends. So the first book of 2024, right? Space, the first book of 2024.
Number one.
You may be number 57. You may be number 57, but you are number one in our hearts. You know what I'm saying? You are number one in our hearts. This one's funny because this is Avengers number 57, and it's number 57 on the Hot 100.
I know, right?
Coincidence?
I don't know.
Bro.
We don't know.
Yeah, but you're number one in our heart, Avengers number 57, because you're the first book of 2024 for the Comic Show. As I said before, this is Avengers number 57. It's at number 57 right now. It's down 25 spots from number 32. This was published on September 30th, 1968. So this makes it it is a Silver Age book. I mean,
definitely
can't argue with that. 1968, man. So this is the first appearance of Vision and Ultron, and this cover by John Buscema is it's a classic. It's a classic. We all recognize this book, and it's been homaged, several times.
Yep.
One of the popular homages that got really popular, once Disney Plus started, was the West Coast Avengers number 45.
Yep.
And that was the White Vision, the first appearance of him when he got disassembled and they found him. They were all crying about it in the comic books, and then he comes back and he's white. But I mean, we're living in the age of whatever, we have to say colorless. But we all call him White Vision, bro. Like, right?
Yeah. The color got drained out of him. That's all.
The color got drained out of him. So what happens when you got no color? It's white, right? Like,
absence of color, right? That's
it's like what do you paint on a white canvas?
Yeah, precisely. Yep.
But this is a classic book, and no need to say more about this book, but it's a very classic book, and everybody loves this book. I don't have this book. Space, do you have this book, man?
I do not. I've never owned this book. I was on the verge of buying it at one time, but it was a little bit out of the price range, so I held off, and kind of bummed I didn't, but that's okay. We'll get it one day.
Hey, you may be able to get it like sometime this year, because we're going to check out the prices and see where they're at right now on CGC and GoCollect. All right, friends, so let's check out what this classic book, first appearance of Venom and Ultron, is going for on CGS. What did I say? CGC and over on GoCollect. So let's see. The Universals are about 5,288 of these. 594 are signatures. 216 have the label of death, and qualifies. There's 27. 9.8s, there's only 15 of these on the census, and the FMV is about 20 grand.
Wow.
You know,
yeah,
19,500 to be exact.
Yeah.
There hasn't been one that sold last year.
Nope.
So I'd say, I don't know. I mean, you think it's still worth 19,000?
I mean, that's a very good question, actually, because
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know, this is it's nothing moved, and this book has gone up and down so much. It's come into favor and out of favor so much with Vision being speculated in so many different things. I mean, I would probably put it at 15 for sure.
15?
Yeah, okay. That's probably pretty fair because, you know, that book that old and that high a grade, that seems about right. But 19 seems a little stretching it right now to me.
It's a beautiful cover, man. It's one of the classic covers. You don't even have to know the number. You know what this book's all about.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So yeah. I mean, 9.6s. There's 57 on the census. There's 34 sales. FMV on that one is $9 grand, and only one sold in the last 90 days. Okay. So there's your fair market value price right now for that one. 9.4. There's 131 on the census. FMV is $3,100, and only one sold last year. It looks like at 3,085. 9.2s. There's 202 on the census. The 1 year average is $1,475. The 90-day is $1,325. So I think you're right, man. I think 15 grand for the 9.8 is a good number.
Seems about right.
9.0s. There are 287 on the census. The 1 year moving average is $1,179, and the 30-day average is $1,105. And let's look for the deal right here, man. I'm looking down to see what I would oh man, this is kind of steady though. I got to give it to it, right?
Yeah. Across all those grades, it's pretty. It is a pretty steady Nelly for sure. Because you know you look at every grade and it's kind of cruising right around the same. I mean, 7.5. It's down a little bit from the 1 year, but I mean that's kind of what I would go for personally. I think 7.5, 8.0.
And that stick around that price range. That 8.5 has the biggest gap between. Looks like it has the biggest gap between. You know the FMV at 1,000, the 30-day at 887. So yeah, I'm with you, man. 8.5 to about 7.5, right?
Yeah. That's a perfect price range, especially to pick up a good deal on this one right now. Like you said, maybe it is the right time.
Yeah, it looks like it is the right time. You know, it's not a bad. I mean, it's a classic book, and I mean, we've seen some, some Tesla books. You know, we saw some down payments for homes in California, at least. So
that's a good call in California, at least.
In California, at least, you gotta sell some books to buy a house here. But this is a pretty affordable key, out of a lot of classics that we've went over. So let's check out and see what is going on over at eBay and the most recent sales. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on December 29th, right before the New Year's, it looks like a 5.0 sold for $275. On December 27th, 4.5 sold for $239. Look at it. It looks like it's steady. Look, the price differences ain't that bad between that 5.0 and 4.5.
Right on it.
Then another 4.5 went for $219. Looks like it was there was no bids on these. These were just straight up buys. And the 6.0 went for $390. So not bad. That's not bad for this book. Yeah, the 6.0.
No, not at all. $390. Yeah, it's like especially I think that 7.0 was around the $500 range. So that's pretty good.
And these are all recent sales, guys, that we picked over on eBay right before we started the show. Looking at the raws, December 29th, looks like 2 bids for $350. On December 28th, look at this one, 9.6 white pages. Went for $3,750. I'm going to scroll back to see what the FMV is on that 9.6 to see if this guy got a good deal. If he maybe he got a pretty good deal and pretty good investment.
I think he did.
$9 grand. So $9 grand.
Yeah. Yep.
$9 grand for the FMV is $9 grand. So if it is a 9.6, I mean he's tripled his investment, right? So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's good. I mean, good on him. That's a great pickup if it does come back that grade. But I mean, you never know.
What happens if it comes back at 8.5? Do you ask for your money back? from the
right. Like you definitely
you
overpaid at that price, but yeah,
but you have a case, right? You have a case,
for sure.
you know, so
For sure.
that's why I don't like picking up books. Saying that if I sell a book, I don't want to say 9.6. I just say either like VF, near mint, VF plus, fine.
You're braver than I am, dude. I just say see pictures for condition
because I'm like,
yeah, you can't. I don't want that pinned on me. I don't want that bad juju.
I mean, I take Space's advice because you don't want to get pinned. So, December 27th, there's 24 picks of this. Look at that. This guy put 24 picks. And this one went on 25 bids for $133.
Wow.
Pretty good. I mean, no matter what, that's a pretty good buy for that book.
Yeah, for sure. Even if it's like a 4.0, that's it's still pretty good.
And then on December 24th, on Christmas Eve, what are they saying here? Avengers number 57, 1968, Black Panther. Someone didn't know what they had, right?
I don't know about that.
I know someone didn't know what they had in there. And that one went for $305. So I mean, it is a pretty good time to buy Vision. I mean, Avengers number 57, if it's something you're looking for.
Okay, friends, next book up on the list is a classic book if you're a fan of this character. It's kind of probably, besides his first appearance, the one that you look for the most. This is Deadpool, The Circle Chase, number 1. And this is sitting at number 65, down 14 spots from number 51. I don't know about you, Hood, but this is, when I got into Deadpool, when I collected when I was younger, this was the first Deadpool book that I got because I missed the train on New Mutants 98, his first appearance. So this is the first one that I went after, and I collected tons of Deadpool stuff after this. But I love this cover. It's very basic, but I like it because it really is kind of like a statement piece. Like no one mistakes what this is at all. So, but yeah, this is a 4-part series. If you guys haven't read this, it's a pretty interesting read. It wasn't my favorite Deadpool story, but I did enjoy it, especially when I was younger, when you don't have as much Deadpool stuff out as you do right now. Now there's tons of Deadpool stuff. And tons of Deadpool series, and you can take your pick of the litter. There's good stories and bad stories, and but this one is decent. So I would definitely check this out if you're a Deadpool fan. But it's down those 14 spots. So let's kind of see what the census is doing with this book. All right. As you can see right there, listed as a key issue because it's the first of his self-titled series, right? This is the first series with him out, even though it's a mini-series. Art was done by Glynis Oliver, Joe Mads, and Chris Alopoulos. I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You got that one on the first first try, bro.
Thanks. I've been working on my diction, so I've been trying to pronounce things better. Publication date was July 31st, 1993, with the cover price at $250. First appearance of Slayback as well, which was I think a minor villain from what I can remember. It's been a long time since I've read this book. Universal copies, there's 4,204 on the census. Signatures, 386. 1 label of death and 41 qualifieds. And there is 1 lone 10.0 on the census, a gem mint version of this, and that person has never sold it. So good for them. Maybe they're just a giant Deadpool fan,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at those 99s, it would have been, they could sell it for $6.
Oh,
easy.
I think probably close to 8 or 9. I would imagine the price hike from a 9.8 to a 9.9 is usually substantial, kind of like it is right here from what we're looking at. And the price gap from a 9.9 to a 10.0 is usually ridiculous. So it could be, close to a $10,000 book. But I mean, that's, finding somebody to buy that if you had it is the difficult part, I think. But 9.9s, there's 6 on the census, 2 have sold, probably just 1 in this last year. So the FMV is 38.40. So that's pretty good, man. Yeah, pretty good for a 9.9, especially when you look right below at a 9.8, and that FMV is 150 for a 9.8. So
this book was a cardstock, right? Like the cover.
Yeah. It's like a little heavy duty cover, and I think it's embossed too. I think part of it is embossed.
I remember
as well.
I know I have this book somewhere, man. It's in somewhere in my book. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. I know I have a copy of it too. You know what? I was digging the other day, and I found a copy of this, and I didn't even realize I have a newsstand copy of this. I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, cool. So I'm definitely gonna have to check out the price on the newsstand, because it's pretty high grade. It's probably a 9.6, so maybe I can, you know, turn it into something that I really want, even though I do like this book. So, but on the census for the 9/8, there is 1,956 with 1,100 sales. So
yeah, that's not a rare 9/8.
No, not at all. There's you know, and this book was fairly heavily printed. The end of the New Mutants run, the beginning of the X-Force run are some of the most heavily printed books in comic book history. X-Force #1 especially, and so you know, they made a lot of these too. They were kind of banking on that character. This was a real popular character when he came out. A lot of people liked him. A lot of people still like him. So there's tons of copies of this out there, whether they're graded or not. And you can see tons of them graded, tons of them sold. So that equates in a little bit lower FMV. Your 1 year on the 9/8, 159. So right around what the FMV is at. 90 days, 145. 30 days, 149. So it's all right around that $150 price mark. On the 9/6, there's 1179 on the census with 586 sales. Your FMV on that's 120. Your 1 year moving average is 77. 90 days, 83, and your 30-day is $68. So if you didn't care so much about your 9/8, you could pick this book up probably for or just above what it costs to grade it in a 9/6. So that, you know, keep that in mind. But if you really wanted it, I say hold out for the 9/8, because they're plentiful. There's a lot of them out there. A lot of people haven't graded this book too, because it's not the biggest Deadpool key, right? Everyone's looking for that New Mutants 98. So that makes a little bit more sense. Your 9/4 is just under 500 on the census. So there's kind of a steep drop off when it comes between the 9/8 and the 9/6, 9/4 amount that has been graded, you know, less than half. So FMV on that one's $100. 1 year is 58, 90 days, $66, and 30 is 83. For me, my money's on just, you know, save a little bit more and get that 9/8.
Yeah, I get the 9/8, man.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me to get a lower grade unless you really don't care. You're looking to just move it real quick or something like that, and you can make a little bit of money. Sure, go ahead, but get the 9/8 if you're a big Deadpool fan. Over on the electronic bay, you can see right there, one sold New Year's Day, just sold. So a 9/8 for $159.99, free shipping all in. That's, you know, $10 for shipping essentially is what you're paying above the FMV. So like I said, save your money. You can get that 9/8 pretty cheap. And if you didn't want to go that route, you know, we'll look at the raws in a minute here and see how much cheaper you can get it for. On the 29th of December, a 9/4 went for $82 with $15.60 shipping off of 21 bids. So they kind of, people were I guess FOMO, and they really want that.
21 bids. Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot. It's surprising. The next one down on Christmas Day, one sold for best offer accepted with $185 on the price tag. So they probably got it right around what the other 9/8 went for, around $160, I would imagine, something like that, maybe even a little bit lower because it's $12 shipping on there. And then the day before, the December 24th, a 9/2 went for $65.99. So, you know, this book is plentiful. It shows you there's a lot that are graded, and there's even more as we look at the other side of the screen that are not graded. That first one, the first two actually are newsstand copies. So those are obviously going to go for a little bit more money. It doesn't say that in the title on the top book. On the December 31st, went for $34.99, best offer accepted, but it is a newsstand copy, and it's considerably more rare, especially when you're getting into the 90s. I know this is the beginning portion of the 90s, but they're a lot harder to find, especially in high grade. On December 30th, another newsstand went for $24.99 with 7 shipping. Again, on the 30th, a direct copy went for $5 with $10 shipping. Man, $10.
Yeah,
$10 to ship the book for $5 to buy it.
I mean, not to ship. I mean, to ship. Yeah, so you're paying $15 for that thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's. I mean, I'd be like, hey man, can you cut me a break on the shipping because it's twice the amount that the book costs to buy. But hey, you know what? Some people just they gotta have it. So on the 29th, the day before, another one. Fine Plus went for $6 with $5 shipping. So this book is plentiful out there. If you're looking for it in raw, you can find it. Most shops have it on the wall or in the back issue bin because it was printed pretty heavily. But take my advice. Save up a little bit more if you really want this book, and save your $150 or maybe even $125 and see if you can work a deal for the 9.8.
Next up, we got a repeat offender. We had this book on a few weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, I think.
And as you can see, it's falling off the train, man. It's getting dragged. It's getting dragged. It's like, please, I just want to get a seat. No,
it's definitely in the caboose if it's not off the train yet.
This is the Young Avengers #1. Right now, it's at number 93, and it dropped 63 spots.
Wow.
From number 30. Yeah, it had a rough New Year's, bro.
Definitely
stayed out too late. Stayed out too late.
Had a little bit too much.
Did the walk of shame. Yeah. all the stuff you're not supposed to do on a New Year's Day, New Year's night. This was published back in May 31st of 2005. This is written by Alan Heinberg. The artist on this was Justin Ponzer, Jim Chung, and Lori Petit. This is the first team appearance of the Young Avengers and the first appearance of a few of them. Kate Bishop, Patriot, that's Eli Bradley, the grandson of Isaiah Bradley, and the Hulkling, and also Iron Lad, who is a Kang variant. This is not the first appearance of a couple of the members. Wiccan, you can find that in Vision and Scarlet Witch number 12. And this is not the first appearance of another member of the Young Avengers. That's Stature. That's Cassie Lang. You can find her first appearance in a Marvel premiere number 42. Her first appearance as Stature is in Avengers, in this one, Young Avengers number 6. And there's another book that kind of gets hot. It's a hot and cold book, and that is Astonishing Ant-Man number 6. That's her first appearance as Stinger. So I find Space. You're gonna be proud of me, bro. I finally saw the Marvels.
Nice, nice.
And I know why. Now I know why this book got hot. And I'm gonna spoil it for you guys because if you haven't watched it yet,
oh man,
on Disney Plus, it's been 2 months. So at the end, Miss Marvel, asked, she wants to start a new team. So she goes. She's like a little cat burglar in Kate Bishop's house or apartment or whatever that is, right? And says, I'm Miss Marvel and I want to start a new team. So I don't think we're looking at this Young Avengers team. We're looking at the Young Avengers team, like the third Young Avengers team, where Miss Marvel's the team captain, right? The captain.
Yeah, that would make more sense to me. I mean, who knows? They can do whatever they want to do, and they might want to pull in some other male members and make a kind of conglomerate or a Voltron of all the teams. I don't know, but yeah, it seems to make more sense towards the second or third run of the Young Avengers, where she's in charge.
A mix of them, right? Like we got one from the first one, and we got Kate Bishop, and then we have what's her name? America?
America Chavez.
America Chavez, right?
Yeah,
and that's in the second one. So there's already 3. Is there anybody else that we're missing that showed up in not yet? That's the only 2,
no,
right?
I think that's it so far.
And Isaiah Bradley showed up too. Remember?
He was in Falcon and Winter Soldier, right?
Briefly.
Just quick,
everybody got a hot to trot for him, for a second, so I think it's just going to be a mashup, right? A mashup of all the Young Avengers. So
I think so too.
I mean, what do you think about you know, Scar, like he might be a Young Avenger too, right? Like, you know, he showed up.
I mean, he did. Yeah, he showed up in She-Hulk, and that might
Yeah.
be a better way to like utilize him. But his appearance got a lot of flack from the community, and they just did not like how he looked. So maybe they'll, you know, kind of redesign how he looks and throw him in there. Maybe he'll walk in the background or be at the compound, or, you know, lift up a car or something weird like that.
Something like that. But he's young, right? Like he's young, so that I mean, he would take, you know, he would be the Hulkling, you know, like, you know, like he would take that spot.
Yeah.
It's we'll see. But definitely go watch the Marvels. It's a fun show. I mean, space, come on, man. I know why.
Oh yeah, dude.
So much.
I don't understand, dude. I had tons of fun watching that movie. It was great.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, whatever you think about, however they want to interpret what Marvel is doing, if you just try to keep that stuff out of your mind and just watch the movie for what it is, you'll have a good time because it's a fun movie.
Yeah, I mean, I approach it this way now. The way Marvel's going is like, they do not care what you think, Ian, and your comic friends. You know, we're gonna do what we want to do because we want to get the teenage boys and the teenage girls and the new generation and take their money. You know, like they don't care about the old guys on the lawn anymore. So you got to kind of enjoy it for what it is. I mean, I'm a Star Wars guy. I enjoy the Star Wars stuff for what it is. I mean, it's content is content, and I'm having a blast when it comes on, you know?
Yeah,
so,
exactly. Just, it's meant to be enjoyed. So just try to enjoy it. Right.
Yeah. And stop trying to spec on, you know, movie characters and if they're going to appear in movies anymore, because it's, I mean, remember that we talked about it on the, you know, the Holler Back show, like one of the comments was like, it's the worst thing to do is spec on a movie character because it's like inevitably going to crash. So just buy the books you love, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Buy what you love. Enjoy what comes out.
All right, comic lovers. We still love you, even though Marvel doesn't, right?
Yeah. Nothing but love, baby.
Nothing but love, man, because we keep it cool here.
That's right.
But let's see what this book's doing. We looked at this a couple weeks ago. Let's see how if there's any improvements, which I doubt. I mean, if you're dropping what 63 spots, there's probably not improvement, man.
No, I don't think so.
The universal copies, there's 5,678 of these. 102 are signed. 5 got the purple label qualified. There's 19. 9.8, there's too many of these. 2,342 of these. F&B is $400. The 30-day moving average is $279. So there you are, right?
Yep.
Prices. That is a big gap. That tells you everything.
Huge gap right there. You want this book? Go get it right now.
Yeah, you wanna continue to spec on movie stuff? Like, go get it, man. So $279. So I'm thinking, forget it, man. It's not even like talk about the other ones. The deal right now is at a 9.8 with I mean, look at that. That's $131 or am I right? No, $121. $121 on the gap. So I'm thinking you can get this one for $250, right? A 9.8. Yeah. Let's keep it at that. You guys see the stats. I know you guys would agree with me in space. Like the gap is there. Get the if you want this book, get the 9.8. You know, like forget the other stuff. All right, friends. So on December 30th on the CGC side, we see a 9.6 sold for about, I'd say $150. Got scratched from 160 with $9.95 shipping. A 9.8. Look at that, $281. So
there you go. It's right there.
What was it? It was like what, $279?
Yeah.
On the other side. $279. Right, $279. Yeah, $279 was a moving average. So like there you go. Like we're seeing the dips. That 9.8. Yeah, man. This book used to be. I mean, we talked about last time, but this used to be almost $1,000 book.
Yeah, dude. At least $900. I remember.
Something like that.
Wow,
yeah. And the 9.0 went for $80 on December 26th. Then we got the Wizard World. Like these were like kind of like the ones to get right for this book.
Yeah, a lot of people were hunting for this one.
Yeah, these Wizard Worlds, because I mean, what people are saying, these are there were less copies made of these, you know.
Yeah, way more rare.
Way more rare than the other covers. So a 9.4 went for $170. I always put that there because, you know, just let the folks know if you want to get, you know, if you're looking, That's the rarest book you could probably get, is that you know, that Wizard World one.
Yep.
And then on December 31st, on New Year's Eve, we saw one go for $99 on 24 bids. Huh?
Wow.
Still going for $100, you know.
Okay.
And then yeah, then we got Director's Cut. That one for $60. And Director's Cut just looks like it sat in the sun too much, you know. So
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you're looking, if you see one that's, it's not the sun, it's just the Director's Cut, you know. So and then on December 28th, we see one sold for $60.
Okay.
Straight up. And then on, man, just go for the that's okay. I mean, what would you, I would have DM'd him, and you know, $50, bro. Yeah. So, yeah. But you know, December 26th, Young Avengers, a high grade near mint went for $114. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Good for them. They got the money.
Hey, they got they're the winners, at least over on the Co-Comic Show for
for
114. Sure. So there you go. Young Avengers #1. Still, I mean, it's still selling. You know, like I mean, when I was putting together the graphics, there were still books selling. So it's still kind of a hot book. So
yeah, for sure. All right, everyone. Next book up on the list is another repeat offender. It might have been a little while ago that this book showed
when we first started, right?
I think
our second episode.
Yeah, a couple months back now. Yeah, but this is Darth Vader #3. It's the first appearance of basically the Indiana Jones of the Star Wars universe that everyone wants kind of to show up, Dr. Aphra, right? She's kind of like a archaeologist about all different types of artifacts in the Star Wars universe, so that's why she gets a comparison to Indiana Jones quite often. It's also the first appearance of her two droids, who are
the death droids.
Yeah, dude, they're my favorite part of this whole run, because they're just ruthless and they don't care about anything. It's like the opposite of 3PO and R2. If you're a Star Wars fan, they're like the complete opposite. They just don't care. They're just like, we'll just kill everyone. We don't care. So
I think if she ever shows up, those droids would be more popular than her.
Oh, right? I 100% agree. Like, she might be, she's a perfect character to show up because she's, you know, that kind of like anti-hero, kind of like Deadpool. But for the Star Wars universe, she has the female perspective, right? So,
and she's a she.
Yeah, exactly. So like she's like, they would be slipping if they didn't get this character out there in live action, or at least in something animated soon. They really should, because it'll I think she'll be a hit. But even more so, like you said, those droids will be a giant hit, especially with the people who are a little bit older. They'll love those droids. They're perfect. They're if you haven't read this run of Darth Vader, read the first like 10. Read the whole thing, but read the first like 10 issues. It's awesome. It's really, really good. But this book was at number 74. It's down 22 spots to number 6. So just like, you know, just like Hood always says, it's hanging on. It's the Titanic book. It's just
Titanic book.
Yeah, it's barely insert, you know, meme here of him holding on. But he is definitely, like, this one's just eking by.
Jack, please. Save
yeah, Aphra, please. But yeah, so it's down quite a bit. I mean, you know, it was down previously before at number 74, but even 22 more spots at number 96. This book is just holding on, especially from where this book is sitting right now on the list to where it was before. This book was going for a lot of money, like a whole lot of money. And then the second, third, and fourth printings, you know, that fourth printing was like in the stratosphere, because it's so much harder to find with the purple cover. So people were really, really going heavy on the spec on this one. But you know, it's obviously cooled off, and people were waiting to see when she's going to show up. And I would expect this book to shoot back up. Maybe not that high, but it'll shoot back up again eventually. All right, as we can see right there, it doesn't say it on here, but it is her first appearance of Dr. Aphra.
Why did it say it?
It's kind of weird. Cover price is $3.99 on this one, and aside from all that and everything else we're talking about, it is an awesome cover by an awesome artist. Adi Granoff. His work is fantastic. It's really well written too.
That pose, her pose is sick. It's just
exactly.
Pose,
Exactly. And that's part of what sells this book too. People look at, kind of get a little bit of interest. You're like, oh, who's this? She looks a little mysterious.
It's a pose. It's a pose. It's like I'm not innocent at all.
Yeah. Like any moment she's gonna be standing there and like pull her gun out. You know? Like so like.
You think I'm cute? Bow.
Yeah. Just wait till you see this kind of thing. Yeah. Exactly. But. The numbers on this book show that this book was heavily spec'd on, like crazy for a book that premiered in 2015. This is only what now at this point 9 years ago, but or just under 9 years at March. But Universal, there's 7,871 copies on the census, and that is insane because the print count was probably that's probably close to half of the print count. I want to say the print count's probably like in the 20 to 30,000 range of this book. So, there's a lot out there, but there's so many graded. 9/8 on the census, you have 4,338 with 1,421 sales. So this book, despite it being the Titanic book, it's holding on, right? Signature series, you have 279, none restored, and 20 qualified. But back into the 9/8, FMV is about $210, which is crazy because I remember the FMV on this thing being like above $800.
Yep, I remember that too, man.
Yeah, I was just like, that's kind of mind blowing that it's literally a quarter of what it was selling for just a couple years ago.
I mean, previous to COVID, was it at 210? I don't even remember, man.
No, I don't think it was that high. I think it was like probably in the $100 to $170 range. Because even though before COVID, I think people were still like, oh, this is the perfect character. There was kind of hype building around her, and they were kind of pushing that, so it drove the price of this book to, especially in a 9/8, to go up. But yeah, pre-COVID, I don't think it was quite at what it's at now. It's come down quite a bit. But yeah, your 1 year is 228, 90 days 188, and 30 days 170. So there you go, right there. That $40 price gap is what's going to get you this book under $200 in 9/8 if you want it. Your 9/6, that's quite a number of 9/6s as well. This is one of the few instances where there's more 9/8s on the census for a modern book than a 9/6. Usually it's the reverse. Yeah, usually it's like the opposite because people are really trying to get that 9/8 and they end up getting the 9/6. 2,215 9/6. 9/6 is on the census with 649 sales. So it's even moving at that rate. Your FMV is 110. Your 1 year is 119. Your 90 days 94, and your 30 days 92. So under $100, you can get a 9/6 of this book. 9/4, even less. 686 on the census. FMV is $80. Your 1 year average is 85, and your 30 days 48. So under $50, basically just a little over what it costs to grade this book. You get a 9/4 if you're not too picky about it. But personally, if I really wanted this book, if I didn't have it already and I wanted a 9/8, I would just save a little bit more money for the 9/8 because you could probably get one for like, best offer like 160 right now. I bet you.
Yeah, shop around, man.
Yeah,
shop around, right, for that 9/8.
Yep, exactly. Don't
send some DMs. So.
Yeah. You never know, right? Sometimes people are really want to move some books, and it's a good opportunity to get this book on the cheap. All right, friends. So we can kind of see right here, your boy Hood put up a couple variants as well as the regular ones that are on here. So on December 30th, a 9/8 in the 1 in 25 LaRocca variant went for $1,350 with $15 shipping. So that book is still,
still holding
on to a decent price. It was definitely more than that before, especially at the height. I know it was probably going for close to like 5 G's, and I'm sure some people got it and they're probably really mad that they did now.
It's kind of like the book foreshadows the sell.
Exactly. The fall of it right there. Exactly.
Holding on, baby.
Yep, it's that Titanic right there, but in the midst of the Death Star, wherever they're at. But yeah, I mean, that's still a pretty good price for I mean, a fair amount of money for that book. You know, just under $1,400 for a modern book like that. It is a 1 in 25, so obviously that's thrown into the mix. But the next one down on the list, they were a little confused with their labeling right there, but it says CGC 9.8, and it's clearly a CBCS.
Wow,
it's not the same. So they, you know, maybe that kind of helped that get into the sold position from someone who had it, or maybe they were just, you know, trying to do a little bit of cross advertising. I don't know, but $173. So that's not bad. One with $20 shipping. So all in for under $200. There's your 9.8 right there. One more 9.8. It says CGC right there. So best offer accepted under 190 with free shipping. That's a fantastic deal. That's kind of what we were talking about when we were looking at the census numbers. And then one more of the 1 in 25 variant in a 9.6 went for $500. So you can see the gap between a 9.6 and 9.8 still on that. Yeah, on that variant. It's pretty large as well. New Year's Day. Looks like the third print of that one, the green background, which that's my favorite color of all of them. Yeah, I just think it looks the coolest with green. But that one's pretty hard to find. I've never seen it, come across it in the wild, other than it being.
I haven't either.
Yeah, but you know, probably they say it's about a 9.4. Went for best offer accepted of $79.99 with just under $10 shipping. So here's a perfect example. Raw right there. Probably it looks like fairly high grade. $62 of the first print you can get. So right around that price range, $60 to $70 is probably where you're going to see this book sit for a little while until we get any more news out of this. Right below that on the 19th, a fourth print in near mint minus went for best offer accepted of $175. Kind of like I was saying earlier, it's the hardest one of these to find. I think there's well under like 8,000 of that fourth print printed, so it's much more difficult to find that purple background. And then a first print says high grade near mint copy for $75 with free shipping. So they're out there. You can get this book, you know, in multiple different printings and different covers, like we're seeing in raw and slab for a great deal right now. Do you own this book, dude?
Yeah, I have a few of these, man.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite characters in Star Wars.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's cool. I found one day I was lucky digging through a dollar bin, and I found a first print and a second print back to back, and I was like, sold. I just bought them immediately. I didn't even wait to dig through the rest of the box. I was like, you got it, no problem.
Dang, bro.
Yeah. Score.
And I know you would, because you're always going through them dollar bins.
Oh yeah, dude. I dig dollar bins all day. That's where I find the bulk of what I get. So keep digging, man. Keep digging.
All right, friends. The last book of the day is another repeat offender, and that is Star Wars number 42, published on December 10th, 1980. This is new to the list, number 100. So we had it before and it fell off the list. Now it's back on the list. Back on the list. So lot of good stuff going on in here. But this is not the first appearance of these guys. If you want to find the first appearance of the guys I'm just going to name off, you would have to look for that Marvel Comics Super Special number 6. It's like a magazine size.
Yeah, the big boy. Yeah.
The big boy book. It's an awesome book to have. I mean, I have a copy. I love it, man. I actually read it. It's fun. But this is the first appearance of all these characters, including the characters on the cover on a standard size comic book, and that is Boba Fett. First full appearance of Yoda is also in this book. Cameos of the bounty hunters Dengar, Boss, IG-88, Zuckuss, and there's a cameo of Palpatine in here, and the first appearance of Slave One. Super classic book. Used to be underrated. I think it continues. Then it went up and it became overrated. Now it's underrated. You know,
again. Yep.
There's no in between in these books. This book. It's neither. It's always. I mean, Star Wars guys like us You know, like we love this book. Anytime I see it for a decent price, of course I'm gonna pick it up because the cover's so sick. But it's either overrated, underrated, overrated, or underrated. It's never in between.
Nope.
You know, so it's a super underrated book right now, and you'll see like it's actually a really good time to buy this book as well. The writer on this was Archie Goodwin, and it was the art was by Al Williamson. But let's check out and see the deal on this book over on CGC and GoCollect. All right, friends, their universals on this book is 6,651, signed 142. Restored, that purple label of death, that's 15. Qualifies, there's 7. There's one 9.9 on the census, never sold. And I think that would be worth a lot of money.
Definitely. Yeah. Good for them.
I would say 10 grand, man. 10 grand? You call it 10? Maybe more?
Probably. Yeah. With Boba Fett front and center on here and the rabid fan base he has,
right?
That, you know, that me and Hood are both a part of.
Yeah.
Yeah. 10 grand for sure.
I remember, man, before all this, you know, all the new Star Wars came out, all we had was that small glimpse of him in Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, and that was it. You know, like
exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, we had the comic books as well, but you know, I mean, we all love we grew up with Boba Fett.
Yep.
You know, so 9.8. The census, there's 479 of these. The FMV is $1,400. And the 90-day moving average is $1,200. So there is a $200 gap. There's none of them sold on. There's no 9.8s that sold within the last 30 days. So there's a $200 gap in that 90-day average. 9.6s, there's 1,019 on the census. 1 year moving average. FMV is 475. The 1 year average is 490, and the 30-day is 424. 9.4, there are 1,076 of these. FMV is 325. And that one's kind of, I don't know, man. I saw the 1 year and I was like, yeah, staying steady. But then I look at the 30-day and not really.
No, not completely.
And the 9.2s, yeah, I mean, I only have, out of all my gradeds, I have a 7.5. I used to have a 9.0 and I used to have an 8.5, but I sold those. I just kept my 7.5. I was like, you know, like it's slabbed and, you know, I bought it for super cheap. But this is what the I have a 7.5. So my 7.5 is worth 180 and the 30-day moving average is 161. I don't know. I'm looking more at probably that 9.4. What do you think, man? The 9.4 looks like the best.
That's especially
the deal right now.
Especially for a higher grade. If you didn't care as much, the FMV to 30-day on the 8.5 is a pretty wide gap. It's about $100, so that's pretty good too. Like,
oh wow,
as much. So like that might be good, but I'm with you there on the 9.4 because obviously we would want this book in a higher grade. But that's a good. You're close. You're coming up on $100 on that one too. So 9.4, 8.5 these seem like the hot ticket for this book.
Yeah, that 8.5, right? The 8.5. It is, man. It's a it's a copper age book. 1980. So it's a 44-year-old book. Am I saying that right? No.
Yeah.
44-year-old book, right?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. It's 1 year older than me, so it's perfect.
Yeah, right. 44-year-old book. 8.5. I mean, 8.5 is a pretty decent grade,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Harder to find nowadays. Price. Yeah.
I mean, I hope I have 8.5 in the next in the next slide, because I would want to see that 100. Look at that 30-day moving average on that is 126. You could probably get one for $100.
I bet, yeah. Especially you look down below in the 7.5 and the 7.0, they have a higher 30-day moving average. So that might be a hot ticket right there.
So let's check it out. Let's see if I actually put one on the other side. Guys, I really don't know if I did. I don't remember, but hopefully I did.
Fingers crossed.
All right, friends. So it looks like I did put an 8.5. So there you go. That 8.5. It's on the bottom, the very bottom on the slab side, on the left side of the screen. You see an 8.5 there, sold for $197, best offered. And I think that one is the one that sold for 161. What? 100 and no, that can have went for 126 bucks, maybe 150, right?
Maybe 150. Maybe that was somebody else, that's that average, so that they got in early or something like that before this guy got this one.
Still pretty good deal, $150 for that, So
absolutely, yeah.
But let's move to the top. On December 31st, on New Year's Eve, someone was chilling at their house, you know, at 8 o'clock, about to go to sleep because they're too old to go out and party. They went and yeah, I went to sleep at 9 o'clock. I'm one of those guys.
It's like you and me, dude. I just sat on the couch.
Man, I wouldn't know. I was like, no, at 9 o'clock, I got to wake up and we'll go to the gym.
There you go.
Hell no, I'm not trying to stay up to midnight. So 9.2 sold for $218 on December 31st. A 9.4 on December 29th went for best offer at, look at that, $359.99. Yeah, it says yeah. I mean, less than that. They said they took 10% off and they got a better deal.
Yeah, so, even more so. Yeah.
On December 29th, a 5.0 went for less than $100, I'm guessing. Then you see the 8.5 that I was just talking about. But check these out. Check this out. The Raws, $152 still, man, on December 31st. Wow. That's not bad.
No, not at all.
This used to be a $300 book, guys. So I just want to, you know,
Raw,
put that out
exactly.
there. Raw used to be $300, so you're seeing half. And then on December 28th, $100 for, you know, fine VF. And then a newsstand went for $107 on December 28th. And then on December 28th, looks like another newsstand went for $80. That looks like a newsstand. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah, he bought this over at Vaughn's, you know, or something.
Exactly.
Or 7-Eleven. Or he's
met him in the parking lot.
Or he was like, Dan, you know, bought him at 7-Eleven.
There you go.
You know, the thing about 7-Eleven, man, they still sell collectibles. I have 7-Eleven by my house, and I always go get my coffee there. Yeah, the coffee's pretty good at 7-Eleven, man. It's half
I'm going to have to try it.
It's half the price to Starbucks, bro. And you bring your own cup. You bring your own cup, and then you get like you get a discount, like a 50% discount. So like, even better, dude. We're shining a ray of light on all you comic guys right now. Like we told you would. You know, like where to get the deals.
Don't go to Starbucks. Get the 7-Eleven.
Dude, it's the same damn thing, bro.
Yeah,
you know, like
I know, dude. I know. I'm. You know what? I've been just making it at home, and I'm like, just watching you just watch the money stack up. You're like, stop spending all this money. I can just make it at home.
I know, make it at home, and then you could go buy like save up, make it at home, and then within 50 days you'll be able to buy you a 8.5. You know,
there you go.
Star Wars number 42, right? See,
we're old.
Nothing but deals here on the GoCollect.
That's right, right. Lifestyle advice, baby.
Lifestyle, baby. So Southern California lifestyle advice from your two truly hood and space.
It's right.
All right, friends. So that is the first show for 2024. We not only showed you great comics and where to buy the deals, but we also told you where to best place to buy your coffee to save some money to buy some comics.
Save that money. Save that money, man. You got to get those books.
Or go to a con, or take a vacation, man.
Yeah, do something.
Why go to Starbucks? Half the time people just want to have that Starbucks cup and look pretty. That's all. That's all about. That's what.
Yeah. It's a status thing.
A status thing, man. Yeah, just bring your old mug.
See, I just bring my Star Wars mug and drink my own coffee, man.
Status, bro. Status. We all have the force here at the Co-Comic Hood Rap Podcast.
That's right.
But just make sure to go check out GoCollect. Their link is below over in the description, and make sure you follow my homeboy right here, Space. His link is here in the description, and if you wait till the video ends, you'll see his logo. Click on it; it'll take you right over to his page, and it'll say, "Please, please, please subscribe." And that's me right now, because you need to subscribe because he's gonna have some dope stuff over there.
Exactly, and don't forget to subscribe down below if you're not already, or you're gonna miss all these awesome deals that we got coming up this next year.
And we want to thank everybody for always hanging out with us on a weekly. We really appreciate. I think it's all like 900 of you. Like we just do. We just do, and it's fantastic, man. You guys make us all feel warm and fuzzy every time. Every time we see a view, right?
Yep.
You bring. We make us feel all nice and shine the ray of light on us as well, and bring up our confidence and make us want to step outside of our house, outside of the dark, dungeon that we all hang out in.
Get a little sunlight on this pale face right here.
Makes me want to shave.
Not me.
But bro, it's 2024, and you know it's our first show of the year, man. How do we do it on this show, Space?
I mean, we the same thing we do every week, but in addition to that, besides all of that, let's just all have a happy new year and stay cool.
Stay cool.